Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me on my YouTube channel, True Divine 44. You can also join me on my Facebook page, True Divine, and it's The True Divine for both Instagram and Twitter. Sorry I didn't get the video out yesterday. I'll get onto that as to why in a moment, but this is part of the free content that I put out to help support, guide and inspire those who need to be or want to be supported, guided and inspired through my knowings, through my energy work and through tarot, combining all of them to bring you a narrative to help you navigate through your day, make sense of the day maybe at the end of the day as to what energies you ran into or what energies you felt within yourself or around you that day, just to help you reflect and make sense of it all. So this is for the, I need to remember, the 8th of July 2020, and it is the daily energy reading to help you on your way. So I missed a video yesterday because sometimes you need, especially when it's energy work, it's the real currency and we neglect it often, and sometimes we need to recharge in order to be able to bring energy that is worthwhile to people who need it. And I have a very, very good friend who organised for us to go to the Farne Islands on a boat. And I think there's 22 islands all clustered together with puffins, guillemots, I think the name is, seals, different animals that is just amazing to look at. And being out on the sea, the mother's waters, it was so refreshing and cleansing and exactly what I needed to recharge my batteries, balance myself out, ground myself, feel that sea water splashing up onto my face. It was exactly what I needed to just transmute all of that built up energy that wasn't doing much good. It needed to be given back to the mother, it needed to be given back to the sea, and what I got back from that was amazing. And that is what blows me away with energy and blows me away with the great mother, the earth, the waters, the womb that we are living in right now. And when you ask, when you go to it with intentions that are good, no matter how broken you might feel, and I didn't feel broken, but no matter how broken you might feel or maybe confused about all of those energies that have built up within you, especially in the times that we're in right now where we're getting bombarded with negativity, headlines, confusing messages, lies and manipulation, you realize when you can slip under that and stop looking at that even for a moment, for a few hours, the gift that you get back of clarity, recharging the batteries is amazing. And it's so important to do that. And the cards say that today, but it's so important to remember that there's a lot of illusion in our lives, and there is a lot of to-do lists and must get this done. It's very filled up days, very busy days, and we don't function like that. That's the reason we get depressed. It's the reason we get stressed out, because we are stuck in these illusions and stuck in these to-do lists and stuck in these manipulative energies. And the mother's always there, waiting to transmute that energy for you and give that clarity to you when you're ready to work with her, when you're ready to have that relationship, when you're ready to go back to her and have that nourishment. So just wanted to say that it was a fantastic evening. We laughed, we talked, we figured some things out that was mind-blowing, personal to the group that I was with. There was just everything was good. Everything was good. And so it says a lot when you have done the things I've been saying in the readings leading up to this, when you have made sure that you have cleared the space of all of the energies around you, i.e. people that weren't balancing you out, that don't have that reciprocity, that want to take maybe more than they give, or that maybe are living in a lower frequency. It's very important that we start to see not money as the currency of the main currency. Of course we all need it right now in the system that we're in, but to see that energy is the real currency. And that energy gets stolen away from us when we get swept up in that illusion. But when we have been discerning about the people that we surround ourselves with, the people that we do things with, it's recharging. It's a safe zone. And so I would urge all of you to still do the work that all of the readings leading up to now have been saying, and make sure that you are around people that are grounded, that are honest, that are energetically on a higher frequency, so that you can figure things out together. You have that team of people, and I am so thankful for the team of people I have around me, including you guys that I know so well through energy, because you live so far away, a lot of you, but I know the energy that you give me, and I'm so grateful for it. And I thank the universe for it. I thank the universe that I have the knowings that I have, and that I've been guided into these positions, into these relationships with such special people. And I'm not just talking about the people I have physically around me. I'm talking about the gift of all of you guys that send me messages, that leave comments, that do things just because you're grateful for these readings, just because you want to support me. It blows me away, and it gives me such a boost of energy. It's like having an IV infusion. And so I thank all of you, and I put the energy out there for all of you to be that magnet to attract the right people around you, both physically and energetically, via the gift that the internet can be. I put that intent out for all of you, because it means so much, and it feels like you're living rather than existing when you're around the right people. So for the 8th of July 2020, the first card is the Princess of Air. She keeps coming up. And so this is the teachable spirit. This is having dexterity in spirit. It's the mind, it's the intellect. And I want people to recognize the movement that's happening for the people that are ready to hear it. And it is that we changing our mentalities, changing our fixed belief systems into a more mutable, changeable, teachable spirit, just like air is. It moves through things. It flows. It doesn't have obstacles. Even if it hits a fence, it goes over the fence and just flows. So whatever obstacles you're facing in your life, try and be like the air princess. Try and be dexterous in and movable and teachable, and try and clear your mind of all of the conforming and manipulation that's been going on for so long, which is difficult, I know, but the energies around us right now are there. They may be, the illusion might be veiling them, but it is a thin veil at the moment. So when people say the veil is thin, I don't just say it as spirit world and physical world. It's the veil is getting thinner and thinner and thinner, against all of the things that would veil us from our truth, from our movable, flowing selves, that would fix us in that manipulation, in those lies, in those manufactured problems, i.e. the racism, the sexism, all of the things that have been manufactured. And it being there, we're flowing through it if we choose to, and seeing through the illusion and seeing the truth of the powers of who we are when we flow, when we're not so fixed in our belief systems and our thought patterns, to be open-minded. And so it speaks of messages to spirit, and it speaks of always being ready to act, living in the moment, having that readiness to have fun, to smile, to see the beauty, even if it's just the beauty in a flower, or seeing a feather floating through the air, to get lost in that moment in a way that lifts you out of this illusion and past that illusionary veil, and gives you that truth, lets you hear the mother through the air. And the clarifying card is the Eight of Wands, which is messages. It's messages coming through, and you see these messages are flying through. They're there if you're ready and open-minded to pick up on them. And the connectivity to the mother, she's speaking loudly if we listen, and it usually isn't the way that we expect. So look out for those messages in spirit. Look out for those messages of loved ones that may have passed over to another realm, whatever your belief, whatever your thinking is. Let's not say belief system. Let's not be fixed, but whatever resonates with you, look out for those messages. And you'll know the synchronicities that pop up, the numbers, the things that you find in your path. Look out for them and don't write them off. Be open-minded to know that there is more. There's more to the things that you can't see, but you're starting to feel, you're starting to hear, you're starting to listen. So listen to those messages that are coming through. Of course, it does represent lots of messages getting passed back and forth between people physically in this physical 3D realm, and so it does speak of that also. So be discerning, be open-minded as to what messages you are getting regarding your growth, regarding things that can open you up even more to the things that you might not be able to see with these two eyes, but you feel, you see with your intuition, and you can be discerning. It's good news, it's real good news. The energy that's around you, if this resonates with you. So the next card is the Four of Cups. So this does speak of a weariness, a tiredness, a need to do exactly what I did, because it's clarified by the Queen of Pentacles. And so the Queen of Pentacles representing the grounding, the importance of the sustenance of the mother, the nourishment of the mother, no longer representing, not today, the physical, the money, to stop chasing after the things that we've been taught to chase after, the abundance that we've been taught is abundant, but to see the real currency, to see the energy and see how that can really feed you. And the thing is, when we stop chasing the illusionary abundance, bet your life on it that, don't bet your life on it, but you can bet your life on the fact that the very thing you've been chasing after, when you take time to meditate with this Four of Cups, to ground with this Queen of Pentacles, when you take that time, actually the very thing that you've been chasing after, you get both the energetic abundance, the right people around you, but also the physical abundance falls into place, because you're no longer playing by their rules. You're flowing, your dexterity is increasing with this Princess of Air. And so it's ironic that the very time that you actually let go, people say let go and let God, let go, ground yourself, do anything, do something to just appreciate the energy that the earth can give you, that the waters can give you. Be ceremonial about it. Breathe in that oxygen and ground yourself, and the actual abundance is there. And ironically, when you stop chasing it, the physical abundance will come in. It will. And so if you're feeling weary, if you're having money troubles right now, which a lot of people are, it's difficult to hear the words that I'm saying. It's difficult to see that that'll fix anything, that you clear your mind and put your feet and hands in the soil, or you put your feet or hands in the water. It's a bit like, come on, Jenny, really? I've got bills, I've got debts. And so it's very difficult to hear what I'm saying, and very difficult to take it on board as something that will actually release that physical abundance also. But it happens, it does. And so one thing I do, and somebody needs to hear this, is one thing I do, I love going to the forest. One thing I do is and it's funny because creepy crawlies, I can be so itchy, if I've been working in the garden or anything like that. But when I'm in that moment, the creepy crawlies actually are pretty respectful. That might be the energy around me, but they're not around. And so I'll make a hole just with my hands. I've always got chip nail varnish, because I'm making a hole, and I'd put my hands right in the earth and feel that energy exchange. And so because when you're having money troubles and things like that, it can be very difficult to clear your mind. Of course it can be. To meditate and, be the silent which is great and it's important. But you don't have to meditate like that. It can be something symbolic, like digging a hole with your hands and putting either your feet or your hands in it, and just allow the soil to come back over. And so that you're not fighting against yourself to clear your mind, you're doing something practical to transmute that energy. And that is just as valid a meditative process as anything else that helps you relax and helps you exchange that energy and helps you stop chasing just the 3D abundance. Through that you gain clarity. Through that you see a way. The Queen of Pentacles sees a way. She sees somewhere, somehow. She knows exactly where to plant a seed. She knows exactly when it will grow. And so through that meditative process, whatever process is best for you, you have that clarity, that knowing of how to go forward to get through those obstacles that seemed so fixed and so solid, but they're illusionary. And so the Four of Pentacles comes up for the third card. So we've got 2 fours, 8, the cycles, the yin and the yang, the ebb and the flow. So the Four of Pentacles, speaking of building that foundation, having dominion over your world. And this speaks of everything that I've been talking about regarding being discerning about the people you're around, being discerning about the real currency, the energy that you exchange, so that you don't get weary, that you don't get tired and worn out. Building a firm foundation that isn't illusionary, that is something that actually doesn't even feel like work because you love doing it, or it feeds you in some kind of way. It's not, exhausting yourself, hating every moment of working, of building up those pentacles, building up that abundance. It's something that you love doing. It's something that you would do anyway. And so that there's much less energy of getting exchanged where you're just getting worn out, feeding all of your energy into something that doesn't feed your soul. So find that clarity with this Queen of Pentacles of how you could build a foundation, dominion over your world. For too long we've relied on outside forces with complacency. From generation to generation we've given up our world, we've given up our rights to it, so that we have to jump through all of these hoops in order to get the loans or do it the way that they have constructed, that really only works for the very few. And so to see it in a different way, to have clarity of knowing how you can increase your wealth without wearing yourself out, without giving too much of self and not getting anything back energetically. Through that there will be, because then you're lifting your frequency. You're not getting stuck down and trudging and through this goo that's set out for you with all of these hoops you've got to then jump through. It's like having concrete on your feet. And I want to be part of chiseling away that concrete for anybody who's listening to this, for anybody who this is resonating with. I want to be that hammer and chisel to break that concrete from your feet and show you that you create your world. This is your life. And for too long we've given away too much of it through complacency, and we've only jumped through the hoops that are presented to us when we have our own path, we have our own destiny. So to find that, to have clarity for yourself, to know which direction you need to go in. This is an achievement through doing something practical, to getting in there and getting your hands dirty, so to speak, but in a way that you don't even care because you like doing it. To clarify that one, another four of cups. So again, in this one, you can see more clearly there's a hand from the heavens, from the things that you can't see. And you see this guy's looking very down, and he's only concentrating on these 3 cups. That, yeah, they're sort of sustaining him, but he's weary, he's tired, he doesn't, they don't have everything in them that he needs to have. And there's this cup being given that he can't see. And it's not that it's not there, it's just that he hasn't been listening to the messages. He hasn't been opening his mind to the other things that are there, that want to present themselves to him, that are just around him all the time, but he can't see. And it's because he's in this mental lockdown. And so he's only concentrating on the cups here. When if he looked or just felt to the side of him, there's a cup there that would send him on his path, that would excite him, that would thrill him. And so to look in places that you haven't looked before. And they're cups, so it's emotional. So look at the relationships you have around you, your friends, your lovers, the partners that you have in business. And ask yourself, do these people have something that I haven't seen before? Is there a part of this relationship that I can unlock to make it exciting for both? Or do I need to be discerning, and do I need to leave these cups behind for a little while and follow this cup here, follow my emotions where my intuition is trying to lead me? It's important for a lot of people that will hear this to not just look at the material abundance, to not have your concentration on that, to go with your flow, to be brave enough to try something different. Everything is up in the air right now anyway. All of the manipulation and the conspiracy to keep the few in control and the us, on their path. All of that's up in the air right now. And yes, it's been difficult, it's been upsetting for many, but actually if you look beyond the illusions, it's actually showing us that it's all been an illusion, it's all lies, it's all constructed, it's all one big show. And so now is the best time, to be honest, to take a chance on you, take a chance on where your gut, your intuition wants to go, not where you've been taught to conform, and not where you've been told the hoops on what looks good. It's all fur coat and no knickers, my granny would say. And so that means that, on the outside, the abundance is there, it looks good, the adornment's there, it looks good, the relationship that I'm in looks good, but what is it behind closed doors? Does it feed you? Has it got everything that this cup's got in it from the heavens? Has it got every opportunity to thrill you, to excite you, to expand your experience on your path here? Whatever your knowing is, we all know that this is a fleeting experience. We all know that it comes to an end and we move on to something else. So take a chance on you. Live. Gain that experience. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Try something else. But you've gained all of that experience during the not working. You've found more of yourself. You've known more about yourself. You've known more about the things that surround you and the spiritual knowings that are trying to get to you today. So take a chance on yourself. I'm behind you all the way. This is an exciting time if you look for it. This is a thrilling time if you look for it. And I'm so glad to be speaking to you. I'm so glad that I can fit into your life in some way to help you have that boost, to have that confidence, to have that knowing of self more. That is an honor and a pleasure, and I thank you all so much. So that's it for today. I'm going to try and do a video just of some of the knowings that I had later on tonight. If not, it'll be tomorrow, just for the writing on the wall thing that I'm doing. Other than that, I'll see you tomorrow for the next daily energy reading. Much, much love, and speak soon. Mwah. Wholeness and balance.